All right. Good evening, everyone. We are back at it again, seeing how much we can advance through good old Pokemon Stadium. Doing round 2, seeing how much cheating is going to occur, all the shenanigans we're going to have to put up with. Should be fun. Hopefully, everyone's having a good Sunday evening. Be getting this started real soon. In fact, let's go ahead and get it started right now. Let's see. I almost activated the wrong capture card. There we go. We're back at it again. Let's. Whoop, there we go. That's a lot better. Forget how loud this game is for me. Alrighty. We're doing Gym Leader Castle, but I do want to update you guys along the way. Because I'm not just twiddling my thumbs over on the sidelines here. I am still doing whatever I can in game. You can see here, we are at 145 Pokemon seen, 143 owned. So I've been chipping away off on the sidelines. You know, just doing the casual, boring stuff that I know you guys don't want to see, like resetting a million times for a specific Pokemon. But recently, to our additions, we got doing what I do. That's absolutely right. How's it going, official One Piece Slayer? Who do we add to the roster, to our Pokedex? Well, we got a Mr. Mime. And I think we have our Goldeen, but I ended up just giving myself over from blue version because IVs were pretty good. And we were leveling up the not Tangela, what am I saying? It starts with a T as well. Let's do this, it'll be easier. Tauros, there we go. We also got, that's right, I was telling you I got a Gyarados. I don't know what Gyarados' number is. We'll do this because it's easier. There we go. Gyarados. Got a Gyarados as well. So I've been quite the busy little Pokemon trainer. I'll save some of the more epic ones, like catching a Zapdos, for the stream. You guys can watch me go insane as I keep resetting for a Zapdos. I think I got a pretty decent Zapdos from my blue version, but I want to leave the legendaries in their respective games, so to speak. Let's go ahead and get right into it and see how much the game is gonna cheat tonight. We had left off at Lieutenant Surge. In hindsight, I could have just shown you guys from here. Alright, box 10 is where I've got like the first few level 50s that I'll be using. But we also got some level 50s up in here. You can see there's the Mr. Mime I told you guys about. The Gyarados, the Tauros were the most recent additions. And you can see I also did some of my Moonstone evolutions, but I did this one a while ago. Gave them some fairly decent moves. I don't know, maybe compared to my Cloyster of a special of 121 and Gyarados of a special of 148 instead. Versus Vaporeon with a special of 150. Wow, Vaporeon's actually just a teeny tiny bit better for that. Alakazam, Tauros are a given on the team. Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Not accidentally get into our stuff here. Go ahead and add Pikachu. I really need to teach that Pikachu better moves, like Submission or something. You can have a fighting type move along the way. Got our Venusaur. I'd accidentally used a rental Charizard last time. Let's make sure we don't do that again. So we got a special of 130 or a special of 141. My Charizard is faster. Also, still haven't been able to do much with the Articuno, but at least now it knows Blizzard. Gotta get some other stuff. Oh, feeling fancy today, huh? We want to roll out the alternative Pokemons with Surf, Ice Beam, and Haze. No Jolteon this time? Oh, just a habit. It's technically my quote-unquote starter, so I'd like to give it a chance to do stuff while it can. Jolteon didn't do too bad last time, if I recall. The only thing Voltorb has over it is its speed, and the fact that it's got explosions. If something gets really annoying, I could just YOLO and explode, I guess. So, question is, who with these two? Jolteon didn't let us down last time, though. Last time we used a Jolteon. Jolteon it is, and then we'll go ahead over, still on my team. I'll add the Venusaur. We'll bounce back to box 10 and scoop up special 150, special 141, special 130. My Flareon's actually a little bit tougher than I gave it credit for. What the heck? Venusaur, Charizard. Alakazam is definitely on this team. Doesn't hurt to. No, it'd almost be funny to go in with the evolutions, wouldn't it? Instead of my Charizard going in with my Flareon, but Flareon knows Fire Blast, and that's a little bit more risky. And it's not as fast as Charizard. Charizard's got the 143 speed. I think Charizard's definitely the way to go. Give Gyarados a shot. And of course, we'll add good old Alakazam. We can try out Tauros and see if Tauros can be the difference that we need it to be. Register this team and see how this goes. I think Slowbro was the scary one here, right? Jolteon can deal with 4 of these. I think maybe Jolteon, Alakazam, and I don't know. The only scary thing is that Tauros would probably struggle a bit with that Primeape and the... I guess Venusaur, yeah. And here we go.
An easy victory should be within reach.
And this is Deja Vu. That Slowbro keeps coming out.
Now, what'll it be? Whoa! Looks like a bad Pokemon choice.
Oh.
It pumped up its special rating. Neither one is
I think
completed
even
in
with that, it's going down.
Right, Thunderbolt! Round 0.
And it was a crit.
Wow!
Hey, game. I don't want to use all my luck right at the beginning with
We're
with
waiting for the next
generic
Pokemon.
trainers over here.
Oh, it's Kingler! How will the type difference affect that?
I don't know if I've leveled up my Kingler or not.
Have that.
Quite did.
No! This Pokemon looks wrong! Wow! Take it down with one hit! There's a difference in the number of reserve
Electric Gym.
Pokemon.
And water types have been coming out.
Oh, it's Tauros!
Pretty much.
The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The
Like if I was coding this game, I would make it so like if you have a team that almost, let's say you've made it to the gym leader 5 times in a row, like they should just let you skip from that point on because you've proven that you can handle that up to that point. Because all this is just time-consuming waste of time at this point. All right, Rocker, you're next. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Raichu, Electrode, and Magneton are all affected by Earthquake, which Tauros has. Yeah, this is one of those moments, right? Right on would have been the move here. Rock Slide would have taken out the Golbat as well. Leading with Tauros. See how it goes.
Here's the second adversary. The challenger needs to stay calm to earn victory.
This is going to be problematic. I know he's gonna know, I'm having a brain fart. He's gonna know Thunder Wave, I feel like. Body Slam is probably a safe bet, I would hope. I'll probably at least 2-hit KO it, I hope. But if I get paralyzed, that'd really be bad.
Major damage!
Oh, it is definitely not gonna 2-hit KO it. It's got way more defense. And there goes the Thunder Wave. I probably should have gone with the Hyper Beam, honestly.
What a furious battle! What's this? A decent hit!
Oh, he tanked that pretty well.
What'll it do?
Ooh, a crit. And that crit took it out.
Oh! Is it down and out? What will the next Pokemon be? Oh, it's Raichu! How will the type difference affect that? What now?
See how a stab move affects him. And it's a crit, of course it is.
Earthquake! No! This Pokemon looks wrong!
Did not take down the Raichu.
Power versus power. Right! Thunderbolt! Yeah! It's a hit! And it's down! We're waiting for the next Pokemon. Oh, it's Alakazam! The Pokemon are entirely different types.
Yep. Whoa.
What's that?
The Raichu is faster than me? I was not expecting that.
A psychic blast! Boom! Wow! Going down! There's
Oh, that
only
would. I
one
guess he wanted to do
Pokemon
whatever
left
he
in
could
reserve.
before he goes down, I guess.
Oh, it's Golbat.
Right, so
The remaining
Tauros
Pokemon
did his little bit of
block is
work,
2-1.
set it up for Alakazam to
The
come in and
tenth battle
sweep
continues.
everything at the end. So I guess it wasn't too bad.
Savage attack. Devastating. Gone. It's a one-hit wonder.
And there goes the battle. There goes that Persian that we can always expect to come out. I mean, so far we haven't needed Venusaur. So, at least for this gym, then if we lose, then yeah, Venusaur can be swapped out. I think I'll lead with Charizard.
It's the gym's third opponent. The gym leader is waiting right after this.
Always a stupid Persian, and it's gonna know Thunder Wave. Can't remember if the Persian was faster than me or not. If I'm faster than it, then I might want to lead. Yeah, he's gonna be faster. If I was gonna be faster, I would try out a fire spin first just to do some chip damage before swapping out to starting to use flamethrower. Yep, there it is.
What'll it be?
I just figured that he was gonna go straight with the Thunderbolt, and it's a crit. So, am I gonna die? No, but still was annoying.
The other side do? Severe hit. Neither one is conceding an inch.
Thunderbolt and Bubble Beam.
Perfect aim. Wow! Going down. What Pokemon will be fighting next?
I'm guessing Alakazam's gonna have to come out next because if I send out Gyarados, oof. 4 times weakness to that stupid Thunderbolt that it knows.
Oh, it's Alakazam! The Pokemon are entirely different types. What's this? Power Strike!
Oh, it was a crit. We lucked out.
Oh! Is it down and out? What will the next Pokemon be? Oh, it's Arcanine! How will the type difference affect that? What's that? A savage hit!
There goes the dig.
Burrowed underground! What a furious battle! They strike fighting poses.
Oh,
It's more
I saw that too
resistant to
late.
physical blows.
Figured I'd just finish off the fight with Alakazam.
A decent hit.
But I could have technically swapped over to Gyarados. You're not wrong.
They
If he
go
digs
into
again, I'll do it.
battle poses. What'll it do?
In all likelihood, will.
Special stat is down.
Oh no, he used flamethrower.
Flame! There, it's a hit. Sparks are flying in this heated match. A psychic blast. Goodness. Oh, it's down. There's only one Pokemon left in reserve. Oh, it's Butterfree. The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The 10th battle continues. What now? The special stat is down. What's this? What's the weak spot? The heated battle rages on.
I think this psychic will finish it.
What's next? Major damage! Oh!
Now, wasn't the
is it
issue with
down
Surge
and out?
that he had like a water move or something?
There goes the battle!
Yeah, definitely time for the nonsense. You're not wrong. Alright, you almost assuredly comes out every single time that we faced him. Yeah, it's probably the move to make. I was thinking Jolteon with T-Wave coming out first too.
Here he is, Lieutenant Surge, the leader of Vermilion Gym, and the commander of Electric Pokemon. The challenger better pick the battle Pokemon with caution. It used Thunder Wave. Oops, it's paralyzed.
First turn body slam paralysis. Nope, but it's a crit.
Powerful strike. Neither one is conceding an inch.
I don't know what I'd swap to. Okay, try Pin Missile. I don't know that Pin Missile's gonna do much.
They're staring each other down. The trainer hasn't
Let's try
issued
Pin
an
Missile,
order.
I guess. What?
What now?
I registered the wrong input.
It didn't do much damage.
I did not want to do that. I registered the wrong input
What's
using
that?
a C stick.
Yeah, it's a hit. What a furious battle.
I promise you I did not want to use Thunderbolt.
What's this? Perfect aim.
Hit 4 times and it basically did nothing.
What'll it do?
And now I'm
There,
paralyzed.
it's a hit. The intense battle
At
continues.
this point I feel like I'm gonna have to let good old Jolteon go down.
What now? Oh,
And
that's a
it
miss.
missed. So here begins the BS.
Body slam. That's a good hit. Oh, it's down. What Pokemon will be fighting next? They strike fighting poses. Oh, it's Alakazam. The Pokemon are entirely
Yeah, I don't use them
different
much
types.
either.
What's next? Nail the weak spot.
If you're wondering
Wow!
what I meant by
Going
using a
down.
C-stick, I have a RAFnet adapter hooked into the
Which
N64 and
Pokemon is coming out?
I'm using a Wavebird controller. For anyone who knows what the
Oh,
Wavebird
right.
controller is. Oh boy, here comes
How
the
will type
nonsense.
difference affect that?
Yeah, I know he is instantly gonna use Thunder Wave and then start being ridiculous.
They're staring each other down. The trainer hasn't issued an order.
I guess, yeah, that'll probably be the move, because if I swap out
What's the
and
matter,
the Tauros gets Thunder Wave, I feel like that's going to be equally as bad. So I think I'm just going to
Combatants
continue
face
to
each other.
Psychic till it goes down, hopefully.
What's this? Special stat is down.
It's good that the special stat went down. There's the Thunder Wave.
What'll it do? Oops, it's paralyzed. The heated battle rages on. What now? A savage hit!
And I'm paralyzed.
It's paralyzed on the spot. Both Pokemon look ready for more.
Bet that the next body slam's a crit.
What's next? Boom!
Surprised that it wasn't.
What's this? Major damage! And it's down!
Whatever comes out next is definitely gonna wipe the floor.
There's
For
only
Alakazam.
one Pokemon left in reserve. Oh, it's Poliwrath!
Oh my god.
The remaining Pokemon stock
We're
is 2 to 1.
probably gonna lose.
The
It probably knows
tense battle
fighting moves.
continues. What'll it do? Yeah, it's a hit. Oh,
It knows
is
fighting
it
moves.
down
Tauros
and
is
out?
gonna come out and get slapped.
Both combatants are down to their last Pokemon.
What are the chances? Well, we can't see what Pokemon they picked, so the computer probably just legitimately just
There's
swaps
just
out
one Pokemon
behind the scenes
aside
since
now.
no one can tell.
The battle is coming right down
I can
to the
try to
wire.
body slam it to death, or I can hyper beam it and hope for the best. But if I hyper beam, then I'm out of commission for a turn. So maybe I should body slam and then last resort hyper beam.
They're staring each other down.
Like do chip with body slam, and then if it looks like we're just gonna die, hyper beam.
The trainer hasn't issued an order. What now? A decent hit.
Wow, that did absolutely nothing.
It pumped up its special rating. Neither one is conceding an inch.
Body slam again. I don't know what it... Oh, wait, no. I don't know what it would have that it would pump up with amnesia.
What's next? There, it's a hit.
All of the times I've used body slam and not a single paralysis. Oh, he knows psychic.
What's this?
The water fighting type knows a psychic move.
Sparks are flying in this heated match. good hit.
Well, Tauros did save the day.
That's it. Stay clear.
Chip damage with body slam, and then that hyper beam saved the day. All right, the minimum requirement of trying to take down at least one gym leader at a time. He succeeded. I don't know why he didn't do the fighting move, but we will take. Oh yeah, I'll definitely take it. Erica's next. Grass type. Alleged, because I mean, Poliwrath in an electric gym. And Misty with the Doug trio. I forgot what the heck Brock had, but it was also nonsense. Yeah, only one electric type. I don't know what to expect because they don't follow anything. Yeah, the session's already a success. You're absolutely right. The common sense would probably tell me to you pick Charizard, you pick Flareon, you pick Ninetales, you pick Blastoise. Well, not Blastoise, but Articuno. You know. All things that would absolutely decimate. Oh, because there might be psychic types in there. Not a psychic, poison types. No, the team should look something like that. But we already know that that is never going to be the case in this game. This game. Alakazam, Charizard, Gyarados for sure. I usually like to do a specific, like ordering to it, just mentally, but you're probably right. Tauros. Executor. Oh, this is Charizard. Just to follow your ordering, because I was like going up and down the list, being all silly. There, now I don't feel silly going up and down your list. Even though I had already selected all of those. And Jolteon hasn't let us down yet. There's only one grass type in there. Just one. How is this a grass gym? The Dragonair gonna know Razor Leaf? Like, this is such a weird team comp that I don't even know what to pick other than our usual staples. I'll try that.
Here's the
I don't
first
even know where to
opponent
begin
of this
looking.
Gym series. A decisive victory is expected. They strike fighting poses. Here's the first move. A decent hit.
Thunder Wave, of course.
Thunder Wave. Oops, it's paralyzed.
Everything and their mother knows Thunder Wave.
What now? Powerful strike.
Of course, it's a crit. I guess we can find
What's
out.
that? Hit the weak spot.
Oh, I guess we won't find out.
Down. Which Pokemon is coming out?
LOL is right.
Oh, it's Raticate.
Super Fang and Hyper Fang combo on the way, along with Body Slam.
3-2. This battle is still up in the air.
Oh, Hyper. Whoops, that came in late.
What'll it do? Yeah, it's a hit.
That's assuming I'm not even... Oh, I didn't get paralyzed.
Savage impact. Severe
All the
hit.
times I've used Body Slam, by the way, and none of the enemy Pokemon ever get paralyzed. Ever.
Match.
I mean, I guess I'll Hyper Beam here, but he's probably gonna finish me off with whatever he does. Hyper Fang, yep. And it's gonna not miss.
There,
Oh, I
it's a
lived.
hit.
Will I be paralyzed though? I'm paralyzed.
It's paralyzed on the spot. The heated
Rip.
battle rages on. Here it comes. Thunder. Boom.
Why does Raticate know everything wrong with this battle so far? We are in Erica's gym. Grass types, Raticate, Thunder. What?
Oh, it's Alakazam.
Where it would kind of make sense was the previous gym, and instead this is what I don't like. What?
What's this? A savage hit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tauros is definitely
it
doing
down
work.
and out. There's only one Pokemon left in reserve. Oh, it's Dugtrio. The remaining Pokemon.
Is it also gonna know
know
Thunder Wave?
The 10th battle continues. Fissure.
It knows Fissure.
That was
One
good.
hit KO.
God, it's a one-hit wonder.
Now, if I did that, it wouldn't connect on the very first
We're
turn.
down to one
Ever.
Pokemon
By the way,
aside.
Grass type gym, Fissure, Earth move, Dugtrio, Ground type.
Oh, it's Gyarados.
You cannot make this up.
There's
Like,
just one
it
Pokemon
cheats
aside now.
so much.
The battle is coming right down to the wire. Nail the weak spot. Hydro Pump.
Of course it
That's a
misses.
miss.
Glad his Fissure got off the very first one-hit KO move
What now?
of the game.
Hit the weak
It automatically connects.
There it goes. Perfect aim. Down. That didn't take much. And
A little
there
bit.
goes the battle.
What's Beauty gonna have? There is not a single grass type in there! Not one! I don't even think any of them can learn a grass type! Why is this a grass type gym? Oh my goodness. You thought that was silly? Look at this. What is this?
How will the gym's second opponent conduct battle? We'll need a strong effort to win.
Of course. Of course.
Oh, and abrupt Pokemon change. Oh, it's Gyarados. Here's the first move. Oh, the attack missed. They're both being cautious. Hydro Pump. Super effective. Wow! Taken down with one hit. We're waiting for the next Pokemon. Oh, it's Stars.
Who knows Thunder and
3
Thunderbolt?
to 2. This battle is still up in the air.
I swapped to Jolteon. He's probably going to use Thunder Wave or Thunderbolt.
They're staring each other down. They strike fighting poses. Oh, there's going to be a change of Pokemon. It's stronger against special attacks. How will the swap Pokemon fight? There it goes!
That came in late.
It's doubly effective. Still improving its state. Neither one is conceding an inch. Into Thunder Wave. Oops, it's paralyzed. What's that? Major damage. Fireworks are flying in this battle. Right, Thunderbolt. Smack the weak spot. It's paralyzed.
It very much is.
The heated battle
It's
rages
definitely
on.
built differently. It's trying to tank out stuff.
How's that? That one hurt. Oh, is it down and out?
You would think I'm in Misty's gym.
There's a distinct difference in the number of remaining Pokemon. Oh, it's Pidgeot. The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided.
Quick attack.
What now? Block the weak spot.
Of course it's a crit.
Vigorous attack. Wow, that's an effective hit. What a furious battle.
Gonna quick attack again.
There.
And that's
quick
probably
attack.
gonna finish me. Yep.
Boom. Oh, it's down.
Not a single grass type on this team.
We're waiting for the next Pokemon. Oh, it's Alakazam. The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The combatants are making sparks fly.
It is really just gonna quick attack every day, all day, every day. And every single time it's been a crit. What is this?
A psychic blast. That's a good hit. And it's down. And there goes the battle.
These battles are not reassuring. Are you gonna give me at least one grass type on the team? No, well, a technical grass type. It's part bug. I will follow your lead.
Trainer battle with only the gym leader left after this. What kind of battle can we expect to see?
He is definitely going down.
Here's the first move. Whoa! Looks like a bad Pokemon choice.
What? He didn't go down?
What will the other side do?
Of course, it's a critical hit.
What's the weak spot?
And oh my god, it almost killed us.
That was quick.
Why is the
Already.
computer getting so many crits?
There's been major action already. Oh, it's Megaton. It has to make up for lost ground. The
I guarantee you that
Pokemon
thing's gonna
are
know
entirely
Thunder
different
Wave.
types.
Should I? I don't know.
They're staring each other down. The trainer
I do like
hasn't
to use
issued an
recover,
order.
but I know he's gonna know Thunder Wave or something. And will he use Thunder Wave right now, knowing that he could just take me out?
What's the matter, trainer?
I think I'm just gonna Psychic.
The
I feel
trainer
like
hasn't
Alakazam
issued
is
an
dead.
order. What's this? Special stat is down.
Wow!
Fire blast. Boom. Wow. Going down. Which Pokemon is coming out? Oh, it's Tauros. We're
Do you want me to
matched
Hyper
with two
Beam here?
Pokemon aside.
I was gonna Body
Neither
Slam, but I know
Pokemon is
you want to see
backing
Hyper
down.
Beam. A little.
They're staring each other down.
I will Hyper Beam just for you.
Hyper Beam. Yeah.
We
it's
just
a hit.
overkilled it.
Oh, it's down. There's only one Pokemon.
And now
left
we can
in
put to
reserve.
rest whether I'll have to recover for the next turn or not.
Oh, it's Marowak. The remaining Pokemon.
Oh, I
clock
can't
is
pick
2-1.
anything, so
The 10th battle continues. It can't make a move. What now? There, it's a hit.
Stab, ground attack.
Neither one is conceding an inch. What'll it do? Good hit. What's
Next
that?
turn, I'm probably gonna have to Earthquake.
A decent hit.
I mean, Earthquake. Paper Beam.
Fireworks are flying in this battle.
Blizzard, sure. I don't think he has very high special, but
No, it is. Blizzard. Super effective.
oh, it did more than I gave it
And
credit for.
down.
Did way more than I gave it credit
There
for.
goes the battle.
Looking like Tauros is definitely one of the better additions to the team. Or at least to like the rotational set. Oh look! She actually has grass Pokemon! 4 of them! And then there's the Dugong. I mean, I got lucky with the Magikarp. Oh, I showed you the stats. Like, it ended up being like, whew. I didn't, and believe it or not, I was only like, I want to say like the 10th or 12th one I ended up catching in a reset. I was really happy that I didn't have to spend a million years trying to catch a Magikarp. I feel like Charizard's gonna be a safe bet here, but Charizard's gonna probably struggle with that Dugong. Well, Vileplume, Victreebel definitely be affected by Earthquake, but not by anything else. I want to say, if I had to take a guess, it's going to be a Dugong, it's going to be a Clefable, because they're not grass type, and then probably the Executor, because he's probably the bigger threat, and if not the Executor, the Vileplume, so that he can Stun Spore and paralyze me. But we can try... I mean, Charizard's definitely going out, that's a given. My fear with Gyarados is, I mean, it's a water type, and it's a bunch of grass types in here. I guess that's true. Alright, so Charizard, Gyarados. Tauros doesn't have high special, and I'm scared of that Executor because of that. I feel like Alakazam can kind of deal with a psychic battle against Executor, but I'm gonna assume that pretty much if it's a grass type, it's gonna have Stun Spore. And that's the other fear. I'm gonna have to deal with the potential of a Stun Spore. Alright, we'll go with Alakazam then. Top row. Dugong comes out.
On the battle against Erica, the Celadon gym leader and a grass Pokemon artist.
Grass Pokemon artist! Dugong comes out!
Victory.
What is this? I like how the announcer is like, grass Pokemon artist, and right as a Dugong comes out. Oh my god! And we have nothing to deal with the Dugong.
They're staring each other down.
If... I don't know what I'd swap. I guess I'd swap to Alakazam.
The trainer hasn't
I feel like
issued an
Alakazam
order.
can tank it. I don't think she would use an ice move against him, so I would imagine she'd use Surf or something, or Hydro Pump.
What's the matter, trainer? The commands are issued. Changing Pokemon. That Pokemon must not have been the right choice. Oh, it's Alakazam!
Oh, still one with the Blizzard, huh?
Savage attack! Yeah, it's a hit! The heated battle rages on! What's this? There, it's a hit! What's that?
First turn Body Slam Paralysis, put it on the bingo board.
What a furious battle!
Of course, it's a first turn Body Slam Paralysis. All the times I've used Body Slam, and not a single one of them has paralyzed the enemy.
Body slam!
Not a single one has done it, but the computer does it. First turn, I get paralyzed. And forget the first turn. I've not gotten a single paralysis off of this. So, my God, I don't know. We lost. We lost because Dugong. We lost because they have a water ice type in a grass gym! It is so irritating. Like, it leaves the scope of fairness.
Gyarados. It's 2 Pokemon against 3 now. This battle is
I don't know.
still
Hyper
up in
Beam?
the air. Now. What will it do? Major damage!
It lived. How much defense does a Dugong have?
What now? Good hit! Neither one is conceding an inch. It can't make a move. What's this? That's a good hit. Fireworks are flying in this battle. How's that? Yeah, it's a hit. Oh, it's down.
Oh, it's down.
Pokemon
Cheating.
is coming out.
It's a grass type gym. Why do you have a water ice
It's
type?
Tarantula. The Pokemon are entirely different types. They strike fighting poses. No, it is Blizzard. Oh, it's
Of course,
frozen
just to
solid.
spite me, right?
It's frozen rock salt. There's no fighting back while you're frozen. The combatants face each other. Here's a Pokemon change.
What?
Oh, it's Bile Flute. What's next? Powerful strike. How will the swapped Pokemon fight?
Would you body slam or would you blizzard again? You would hyper? What's the accuracy on a hyper beam versus the accuracy on blizzard? Because the accuracy on blizzard is 90. Do we know that? I mean, I know that the accuracy on blizzard is 90.
Trainer hasn't issued an order. What's the matter, trainer?
Oh, it's also 90. They're both 90 apparently.
The trainer hasn't issued an order. Hyper Beam. A savage hit.
It lived! It lived by 2! How is that possible? A body slam did half of that!
Both Pokemon appear weak.
Yo, hold on! How does body slam take about half its health, but Hyper Beam, which is 150 base, leaves it alive?
Yeah, it's a hit. It goes down after a good fight. There's only one Pokemon left in reserve.
You know what the problem with this is now?
We're down to the last
I can't use any fire types against that frozen one. It'll thaw it out.
One Pokemon against 2 now. The 10th battle continues.
I'm gonna have to like slash it to death.
That's the weak spot. Wow! Going down. Both combatants are down to their last Pokemon.
I don't trust it.
We're down to the last Pokemon.
I'll be honest with you, I don't trust it. I would almost slash till it's dead. It'll live by like 1 HP just to spite me. Then it'll use Stun Spore and I'll be stunned every single step of the way.
They're staring each other down.
But you say it's almost dead, so...
Savage attack.
I don't put anything past this game. Don't LOL me.
That's an effective hit. Oh, it's down. That's it. Stay clear.
Don't you lull me. All right, we beat the cheater Erica as well. All of them are cheaters. But nothing's gonna top the fact that the announcer said grass Pokemon artist and then immediately pulls out a water ice type. Compared to like previous ones, yeah, we're doing fantastic tonight. But round 1, I made it all the way to Blaine before I just stopped. And not even because I couldn't keep going. No, we beat Blaine, I'm sorry. So we did 7 whole gyms. This is, I can't do that here because, well, as you can see, this game cheats. I'm gonna clip that, by the way. I'm gonna clip the scene with Blaine. I'm not Blaine, I'm sorry. With the announcer saying, you know, grass Pokemon artist as a Dugong comes out. The same team, so what was that? Have to scroll up for it. Alakazam, Charizard, Gyarados, Tauros, Executor, oh, I don't remember if we registered it. If it's already registered, I'm not gonna register it again. Look at all the poison types there. Do you see them? Oh man, Alakazam and Mr. Mime and Electrode and Electabuzz and Slowbro and Clefable. All poison types in a poison type gym. Yep, nothing fishy about this poison type gym. I don't even know where to begin with this. None of those are poison
Here
types.
comes the first opponent. An easy victory should be within reach.
Oh my god, it's gonna explode.
They strike fighting poses. It's mimicking the opponent. Earthquake. Whoa, looks like a bad Pokemon choice. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
Thunder Wave.
Into Thunder Wave.
I feel like I'm just eternally fighting the ghost of Lieutenant Surge in every last one of these gyms.
Savage attack. It's doubly effective. Wow! Going down. We're waiting for the next Pokemon. Oh, it's Clefable. The remaining Pokemon count is 3-2. This battle is still up in the air. Now,
Why do all of them know Mimic?
the opponent.
And I'm paralyzed.
Paralyzed on the spot. The heated battle rages on. What's next? What's the
And of course it's a crit.
What's this? A decent hit. Neither one is conceding an inch. What now? Boom!
One last hurrah.
Hyper Beam. The bear hit. Oh! It's down! There's a distinct difference in the number of remaining Pokemon. Oh, it's Alakazam! The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1.
Well, I figured he would have one
Battle
last
has become
hurrah.
one-sided. It created a substitute. It can't make a move. Sparks are flying in this heated match. It's a Psyche. That's a good hit. It's finally taken down. Which Pokemon is coming out?
Alakazam versus Alakazam or Gyarados versus Alakazam?
Oh, it's Gyarados! The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The combatants are making sparks fly. What'll it do? There, it's a hit. Savage attack. The substitute disappears. What a furious battle. It created a substitute.
You can't get paralyzed because it's a substitute,
was
right?
used up. Fireworks are flying.
You're just gonna
in this
keep using
battle.
substitute? I mean, I'm fine with that.
It created a substitute.
Just want to make sure that we're all aware that that's what he's doing.
Body slam. The substitute disappears. The intense battle continues. It created a substitute. How's that? The substitute was used up. There's a big difference in HP. What's this? Yeah!
Oh my god. I hurt myself in my confusion.
Whoa! It attacked itself!
3 HP left. Psy beam. Oh, you got confused.
What now?
Oh, and it's a crit too, so that killed me.
Oh! Is it down and out? Both combatants are down to their last Pokemon. Oh, it's Alakazam! There's just one Pokemon aside now. The battle is coming right down to the one.
His is faster than mine.
Restoring HP.
And I'm pretty sure mine has like fairly decent IVs into speed.
Hit the weak spot. The heated battle rages on. It's restoring HP. What'll it do? It didn't do much damage. Sparks are flying in
Not a
this
single
heated
time has
battle.
a special dropped.
It created a substitute. What's this? The substitute took the hit. What a furious battle. It's restoring HP. What now? The substitute disappeared. Fireworks are flying in this battle. It created a substitute. What's next? The substitute took the hit. The intense battle continues. They go into battle.
We 100% lost.
What'll it do? The attack wasn't effective. What's this? The substitute was used up. Neither one is conceding an inch. Now. It created a substitute.
I'm gonna use Psy Beam until he runs out of substitutes.
The substitute took the hit. The heated battle rages
Then I'm gonna run
on.
out of Psychic. I only have 4 Psychics left. And I can't break it in one turn anyway.
It's restoring HP. What's next? The substitute disappears. Sparks are flying in this heated match. It created a substitute. What'll it do? The substitute took the hit. What a furious battle. They strike fighting poses. What's this? That was weak. What now? The substitute was used up. Fireworks are flying in this battle. It created a substitute. What's that? The substitute took the hit.
It's got 10 PP for substitute by default. If he's raised it, it can go up to 16.
The combatants face each other. It's restoring HP. What'll it do? The substitute disappears. Both Pokemon look ready for more. It created a substitute. What's this? The substitute took the hit. Neither one is conceding an inch. What now? Hit the weak spot. What's that? The substitute was used up. The heated
This is so
battle rages
stupid.
on. The commands are issued. What'll it do? It didn't do much damage. It's restoring HP. Sparks are flying in this heated match. What's this? It's not very effective. What now? The attack wasn't effective. What a furious battle!
I mean, all he's using at this point is recover and side beam, so I'm gonna assume so. I don't know what other attack he would have, because we've only seen him use substitute, side beam, and recover, so I don't know what his fourth is.
Fireworks are flying in this battle. What'll it do? It didn't do much damage.
Of course. And now I'm confused. And I'm gonna hurt myself, of course.
Uh-oh, it's confused.
So, on top of dragging everything out, now I'm just gonna keep hurting myself.
What's this? What?
And it's a crit! Now it's a crit! Let me guess, I'm gonna hurt myself and it's gonna kill me?
It's restoring HP. Neither one is conceding an inch. What now? Drill that weak spot.
I like how all the crits are starting to come out now. And I hurt myself.
It's still confused. The heated battle rages on. What's that? It's not very effective. It shook off its confusion. Sparks are flying in this heated match. What'll it do? The attack wasn't effective. It's restoring HP. What a furious battle. The combatants face each other. What's this? Nail the weak spot.
How many times do you think he's used side beam?
What now? That was weak. Both Pokemon look
I started
ready
using
for
it pretty
more.
late. He's been using it this whole time and I have 9 left.
What's that? It didn't do much damage.
Because he still has plenty of recover to use, so I'd rather just blow through all the side beam. Because if I use it, then this is definitely never gonna end, and I'm scared of of having to use struggle, because that'll definitely end me.
What's this?
Oh my god, I wanted to recover there. It's confused.
What now? That was weak. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
I like how I've been using Side Beam as long as I have. I've not confused him once. He's confused me twice.
It's restoring HP. Both combatants still have plenty of gas left. What's that?
Oh, fair point.
Too much damage. It shook off its confusion. It's not very effective.
Oh, now it finally go. It's like it heard me.
Both Pokemon look ready for more. What'll it do? The attack wasn't effective. What's this? That was weak.
When is he
Both
gonna
Pokemon
run out of
appear
Side Beam?
equally fit. Uh-oh, it's confused. What now? What's the weak spot?
I might chance a Psychic now.
Conceding an inch. They go into battle poses. It shook
Oh,
off
it shook off its confusion. Of course it did. Of course it shook it off at that moment.
What's that? The special stat is down. The intense battle continues. What'll it do? It didn't do much damage. What's this? It's not very effective. The heated battle rages on. They strike fighting poses. It's restoring HP. What now? The attack wasn't effective. Both combatants still have plenty of gas left. It's restoring HP.
He ran out of Side Beam.
What's next? That was weak. What a furious battle. It's restoring HP. What'll it do? It didn't do much damage. Sparks are flying in this heated match. It's restoring HP.
This is the dumbest match in this game.
What's this? It's not very effective. Fireworks are flying in this battle. Now. It's restoring HP. What now? The attack wasn't effective. Neither one is conceding an inch. It shook off its confusion.
I'm gonna have to.
What's that? That was weak. The intense battle continues. It's restoring HP. It's more
I really want to know what the fourth move is that he's not doing it.
The heated battle rages on.
Like, what could you have that you would rather spam recover? Oh, it's metronome.
What'll it do? Powerful strike.
Oh my god.
The move failed to click. What a
We lost.
furious battle!
It's over. If the next attack does damage from metronome, we lost.
The commands are issued. Awesome counter! Whoa!
What
With
luck.
that attack, it's restoring HP. Sparks are flying in this heated match. What's this? Drill that weak spot. It's restoring HP. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
Oh my god.
That's disable. The
Of
disable
course.
The move failed. Neither one is
No one will
conceding
ever
an inch.
convince me that this game doesn't cheat.
What now? There's a little damage. Disable war off.
What match
Move
is this?
failed to click. The intense battle continues. It pumped up its special rating. The move failed. The heated battle rages on. Still improving in state. The move failed to click. What a furious battle. It still won't attack. The move failed. Sparks are flying in this heated match. What's that? Boom! The move failed to click. Fireworks are flying in this battle. What'll it do? There, it's a hit. The move failed. Neither one is conceding an inch. The move failed to click. The move failed. The intense battle continues. The move failed to click.
Oh, he ran out of
The
metronome.
move failed. The heated battle rages on.
I assume anyway.
The move failed to click. The move failed. What a furious battle. The move failed to click. The move failed. Sparks are flying in this heated match. The move failed to click. The move failed. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
There's the struggle.
What's this? A decent hit.
Oh my god.
The move failed to click. Neither one is conceding an inch.
That's all the
What
damage
now?
he's taking from
Nail the
struggle.
weak spot. It's restoring HP. The intense battle continues. What's that? Powerful strike. It's restoring HP. The heated battle rages on. What'll it do? Drill that weak spot. The move failed. Both Pokemon look ready for more. this? Yeah, it's a hit! It's restoring HP! What a furious battle!
I like zoned out there for a second just because it was going on forever.
That's a good hit! The move failed to click. Sparks are flying in this heated
It really
match.
is the dumbest match we've ever
What's
experienced.
that? Boom! The move failed. Fireworks are flying in this battle. What'll it do? There, it's a hit. The move failed to click. Neither one is conceding an inch. What's this? Hit the weak spot. The move failed. The intense battle continues. What now? Good hit. It's restoring HP. The heated battle rages on. What's that? A decent hit. It's restoring HP. What a furious battle.
This is so stupid.
What'll it do? Yeah, it's a hit. It's restoring HP.
About 3 more turns before this is over.
Sparks are flying in this heated match. What's this? That's a good hit. It's restoring HP.
Oh my god.
Fireworks are flying in this battle.
Metapod, Harden. Oh yeah,
What now?
Metapod, you use Harden.
Oh,
Hey, don't let him do that to you. You use Harden too.
it's restoring HP. Neither one is conceding an inch. They
Magikarp,
strike
use
fighting
Splash
focus.
Attack. Oh, hell no. Don't let him do that to you. You
What's
use
that?
Splash Attack, Magikarp.
There,
Oh, you
it's a
better
hit.
show him that you got the better Splash Attack, Magikarp.
Hey, what's it doing? Down it goes. And there
I have no
goes
idea how long that took, but I know it took easily over 20 minutes or so. That was just the first one! Like Sisyphus, I'm bound to hell. Look, it's another freaking Persian down there. Can't wait to deal with the Thunder Wave Thunderbolt combo all over again and the Bubble Beam.
Here's the second adversary. The challenger needs to stay calm to earn victory.
Of course. Fantastic. Getting ready. Mentally preparing myself for the Thunder Wave. He's gonna be faster than me. Oh, he's not faster than me.
What'll it be? Harsh blow.
Oh, no Thunder Wave?
What will the other side
Color me
do?
surprised.
Nail the weak spot. Neither one is conceding an inch. What now? What's the weak spot? Wow! Going down! We're waiting for the next Pokemon.
Psychic or recover.
Oh, it's Sand Slash! It has to make up for lost
Another
ground.
slasher.
The Pokemon are entirely different types.
I should psychic or recover.
They're staring each other down.
Does Sand Slash no quick attack? I don't think they can learn quick attack.
A savage hit! What a flash! Drilled that weak spot. Oh! Is it down and out? Which Pokemon is coming out? Oh, it's Gyarados! How will the type difference affect battle? No, it is! Blizzard! Smack the weak spot! And it's down!
Couldn't remember Hydro Pump's accuracy, but I was pretty sure it would be higher than it wouldn't be higher than Blizzard.
Oh, it's Victory Bell! The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The 10th battle continues. Savage attack! Perfect aim! What's next? Powerful strike! The heated battle
These three are the golden
rages
ticket.
on.
You're talking about Gyarados, Alakazam, and Tauros.
How's that? Super effective! Oh! It's down! And
Yeah.
there goes the battle!
But the game cheats. I want to say it's probably a safe lead with Alakazam this time. Actually, Earthquake can do a lot of damage to a lot of these guys. I know Coughing, Muck, and Tentacruel be susceptible to that. Charizard, I guess it's a safe bet too. Alakazam, Tauros, and Charizard.
It's the gym's third opponent. The gym leader is waiting right after this.
But I swap. No. Gonna have to be Alakazam, isn't it? Psychic till I drop, I guess.
will the other side too. Nail the weak spot.
Of course, everything's got slash.
Rages on. What's this? That's a good hit. Wow! Going down. Which Pokemon is coming out? Oh, it's Ditto. It has to make up for lost ground. How will the type difference affect that?
This could be problematic. I think once it transforms, it's gonna get all its health back.
The trainer hasn't issued an order. It's a revolving door of Pokemon.
Okay, why?
Oh, it's waiting.
I mean, 2 Psychics is definitely gonna take this out.
There's the attack.
He was trying to psych me out with the swap.
This Pokemon looks wrong.
Of course, 1 HP.
Change the flow of battle?
Yes, Ditto does copy paste your stats. That's why if you use Ditto in competitive, you just generally wanted to have good HP, defense, and speed, so that it can hopefully go first and outlast whatever damage it would take.
There's a distinct difference in the number of remaining Pokemon. There's nothing left in reserve. The remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided. What's next? Severe hit.
That'll transform.
Wow, it transformed.
Oh, I guess later on it can start getting HP, I guess.
Furious battle. Now. It's restoring HP. What'll it do? Special stat is down. Neither one is conceding an inch.
No, it's gonna end up
What's
being a
that?
coin toss every time.
That was weak.
Because now we have equal speed to each other.
What's this?
If you mean like now that it's transformed, that of course it's a crit.
It goes down after a good fight. We're waiting for the next Pokemon. They go into battle poses.
Am I gonna body slam or am I gonna hyper beam?
The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The combatants are making sparks fly.
Body.
It's restoring HP.
Be nice if the body slam could give him a paralysis.
Body slam. Major damage.
Of course he lives by
Fireworks are
5.
flying in this battle.
Gonna use recover again. But I don't think he's gonna be able to outlast the healing.
Restoring HP.
I mean the damage rather.
Savage attack. Harsh blow. Oh, it's down.
It's also true.
And there goes the battle.
Now quick. What are the types that would beat a poison type? And what would beat that? Because that's gonna be his bottom left. I'm calling it right now. So Psychic would be poison. Ghost types don't really work here. So Bug. So it'll be fire. Oh, is poison weak to ice? He actually has 3 poison types. Color me surprised. But you know who's gonna come out? You know who's gonna come out. That bottom left is gonna come out. I'm still right about the bottom left. Every time the annoyance is the bottom left. I feel like Alakazam Charizard for sure. Or Alakazam Tauros. Tauros, Char, and Ala. You want to lead with Tauros, huh? Okay, we'll lead with Tauros. Paranoid. Tauros, Charizard, Alakazam. Oh, any lead?
The next battle is versus Koga, the Fuchsia Gym Leader and the Master of Poison Pokemon.
View it. There he is.
Can the challenger do anything about the effects of poison?
The effects of poison? That's not a poison type, sir.
What'll it be? There, it's a hit. Awesome counter. A savage hit.
He's got counter.
The heated battle
Hyper Beam.
rages on.
I think Hyper Beam is the move, yeah.
Hyper Beam. Major damage. Oh, is it down and out?
Probably one of the bigger annoyances is now
What will
gone.
the next Pokemon be? Oh, it's Venomous. It has to
Charizard's
make
probably
up
the
for
safe
lost
bet.
ground. How will the type difference
Tauros is
affect
love.
that? It can't
This will
make
give
a
us a
move.
hint as to what he's got. Psychic.
What's that? Boom! Wow! Going down!
I'm really glad that we
Which
caught a good
Pokemon
Tauros
is coming
recently.
out? Oh, it's Charizard! The Pokemon are entirely different types. Whoa! Super effective. What'll it do?
How powerful is its psychic?
Special
Special stat went down. I think
Fireworks
flamethrower
are
should still be
flying
enough to
this
take it
battle.
down.
Flamethrower. Perfect day. And it's down. There's only one Pokemon left in reserve. Oh, it's Tangela. The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The 10th battle continues. Savage attack. It's doubly effective.
Having my special dropped gun sport.
A Sun Sport
Gonna
Lock.
connect. There's the paralysis.
It's paralyzed. Neither one is conceding an inch. Now,
Oh, here we go.
made itself more evasive.
And I'm paralyzed.
It's paralyzed on the spot. The intense battle continues. Still improving its state. There it goes.
Could be. No,
That's
it
not bad.
absolutely is gonna be bad.
The heated battle rages on.
He's already used two. That means
Building energy
it's
for
never
the
gonna
next
connect ever
attack.
again.
How's that? That's the weak spot. Sparks are flying in this heated match. What's this? The attack wasn't effective.
Did nothing. And I'm paralyzed.
It's
You ever see the
paralyzed on
screen
spot.
instantly wiggle
What a
like that,
furious
but nothing
battle.
happens? And it's staring right at him, right in front of his face. Oh my god, he knows rest.
It's making a quick rest. Savage attack. Whoa, that's tough.
Oh my god, what luck.
It's a one-hit
I'll take it.
wonder.
I'll take it. I will take it.
That's it. Stage clear.
So we beat Surge, Erica, Koga, Sabrina's next. Ugh. I'm not doing this tonight. No, I'm gonna call it quits. There's a couple things that I need to get done. I cannot wait for summer to roll in so that I can have a little more time once work slows down. We have less to do in the summer. So I will definitely be streaming a lot more frequently during the summer. And I'm gonna call it quits while I still have my sanity, because I really don't know what to expect. But yeah, I'm glad to see that Tauros has been pretty much magical addition to the team. Gyarados has also been doing work. And Alakazam, as usual, is doing pretty well. That Alakazam versus Alakazam fight, that thing needed to have perfect. If it wasn't that it just had flat out cheating stats, it needed to have perfect IVs. It needed to have perfect EVs. Like, it perfectly trained, because there is no way that typically the computer's Alakazam has ever been faster than mine. I think that's one of the few stats that my Alakazam actually excels in. Yeah, they're definitely great additions to the roster. Now that unfortunately Blastoise, Pikachu, and the latter are struggling a bit. But anyway, I think I'm also gonna call it quits for the night. In any case, this was about a 2-hour stream, so I'm happy with it. I did more progress than I thought was gonna happen. I really came into this thinking, we're gonna beat Surge and we're gonna lose to Erica, and then like 3 weeks later we would have been at Sabrina, if that. So I mean, I'll take it. So yeah, I think I'm good. Alrighty, so I think that's gonna be it for tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for joining up. I'm gonna go ahead and plug my socials for you guys in the chat. There you go, all the places that you can follow me. So you can watch more of my content over at youtube.com/LeeMustang. You can follow me over at Twitter to see when I'm going to be streaming, and you can go ahead and give me a follow over at instagram.com/Lee.Mustang if you are looking to see what I'm adding to my game collection over time. I'm gonna be snapping some pictures of stuff that I've picked up recently, including a lot of Japanese Pokemon games that recently came into possession of. So basically all of the Game Boy Color games, with the exception of, like, I think the second TCG game, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But I thought that was a pretty neat pickup for about I want to say it was like 50-ish bucks, getting Pokemon Green, Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and the trading card game for about 50 bucks. I don't think that was too bad. Anywho, if you are watching this over at youtube.com/LeeMustang, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Click the little bell icon to be in the know. And I will see you guys in the next part. Until then, guys, take care.